Okay, I want to make sure everyone can hear me now. You see the screen. If you guys can hear and see, let me know in the chat. Okay, you guys can hear me, let me know. Okay. Okay, can you hear me, Jeffrey? Can you hear me? Okay, Jeffrey, are you on the Google Hangouts page itself, or are you on the page that says in the corner it'll say Powered by Cybernetical Live? Which page are you looking at right now? Hello? Okay, thanks, Jeffrey. I think I have the other attendees kind of refresh. Since I'm not actually seeing it on my end, if you're seeing it, that's great. So give me 1 second. I want to message the others and let them know. Okay, well, it must be quite a conflict between our computers because Jeffrey can see and hear me, and I personally can't see and hear the live webinar on the Cybernetical Live page, and nobody else can, so this is kind of funny. Ugh. Yeah, so you guys, if you can all hear me, just go ahead and log out and come back into the CL link in your email, and hopefully it'll work. Unless there's settings that we have to. I don't know if anybody else has to enable the Cybernetical Live app. I don't think you have access to it unless you're running the webinar, so that probably isn't it. Hey, Sandy, can you hear me? I don't get it. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna call your names, and you guys let me know if you can hear me or not. Okay. Bernard, can you hear me? Type yes if you can. Jeffrey, if you can still hear me, type yes if you can. Sandy, if you can hear me, type yes. Vicky, if you can hear me, type yes. Gotta be a Cybernetical Live conflict somewhere. Okay, and this is like really weird. This is weird. Okay, let me check. Let me check the YouTube link. Okay. Okay, once you guys access the YouTube link, I know there's going to be kind of a delay, but just let me know that you can see everything and if you can hear me. Okay, Vicky, can you hear and see the video and the presentation? Okay, I'll make sure that everyone can actually see and hear what's going on. So let me one more second real quick and I'll make sure it's all, make sure we get all the bugs out, worked out so we can actually get this presentation going. Okay, so in YouTube there are 4 links on the right sidebar. Oh, begin to see what that is. I'm not sure. Forgive any feedback. I'm going to go to that YouTube link and see what's going on. 1 second. Yeah, Biggie, there are all those links because when I started and restarted and ended the webinar and started a new session, so that's why it has all 4 links there. So I don't know if that's going to make a difference right now. Hopefully it won't. Yeah. Yeah, Biggie, that's possible. Let's see. Hello, Mitya. Hello. Is it Mitya or Mitya? I'm not sure. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. Okay. I don't think there are going to be any more problems. I hope there won't be any more challenges, so we can actually get this going. So I'm going to close out Facebook so no one is disturbing. Close that out. Hello, Charlotte, if you can hear me. If everyone can hear me, just do me a favor and type yes really quick in the chat to make sure. And if everyone can see the screen, I just want to make sure everyone's able to see it. For those who just got on, you're going to have to go to the YouTube link because it's not showing up on the actual webinar page for some reason. Okay, everyone needs to go to. All right, everyone, just make sure you go to the YouTube link that I just posted. But right now, it's not showing up in the on the actual webinar page. So the only way we can do this is just everyone go to the YouTube link and watch it from there until we figure out what the conflict is between our webinar platform and Google Hangouts. So. All right, now I'm assuming everyone can see and hear what's going on, so we're going to go get started. Again, I want to apologize for the late start and for all the issues that were happening. We were having technical issues with the scheduling and all that, so that's out of the way. We're just going to do it the old-fashioned way and just have you guys watch through YouTube. And once we get this thing figured out, we'll get everything going through the regular webinar platform. But anyway, what we're going to talk about in this webinar is how to get leads through Pinterest. Now, using just Pinterest, I've been able to get, at the highest point, I've been able to get up to 200 leads per day just from Pinterest. A lot of people don't really look at Pinterest and think of it as actually a viable lead source. But it actually is. Now, before we get started, I want to kind of tell you a little bit about myself. Anyway, for those who don't know me, my name is Kurt Tashi. During my JOB days, my job career, I spent 8 years in the grocery industry, working mostly in produce. Spent a lot of time with commercial produce, and then about 4 years working with organics. I spent 15 or more years in the restaurant and hospitality industry. I've worked for companies like Bob Evans. I worked there as a manager. I worked for IHOP, and I've actually worked a few years at Walt Disney World, which is actually pretty fun. A lot of perks, and get to meet a lot of people from around the world. I'm an LGBT rights advocate, and I spend a lot of my time doing that, attending pride parades and kind of doing my thing to be sure that our community is getting their equal rights. I'm also a cancer survivor. I've been cancer-free from lymphoma for about 2 years now. I have a background in martial arts. I've been studying since around age 17. Actually got interested in about age 14. I've been studying different arts since the age of 17. As far as my internet marketing career goes, I've been doing that since about 2007, and I've been doing network marketing since about 1988, right out of high school. So I kind of just dated myself there. Now I'm a firm believer in networking with people who have done what you want to do and who are successful. Now here's a few pictures of me at the Turning Point seminar last May 2014. Here I am on the left with Marshall Silver, the host of the event. Over here on the right is me with my friend and mentor, Tom the Furry Hat Guy, and down at the bottom is me getting ready to eat fire at Turning Point. Now I know a few on here now have been to Turning Point, and you've done the fire eating. So if anyone here who hasn't done it wants to find out what it's like, just ask me or ask one of the other people on here. It's an awesome experience. So as far as this Pinterest goes, why Pinterest? Okay, well, with Pinterest, they have, and this, be mindful that this data came from earlier this year, so it's probably increased since then. But as of the last data that I could find, Pinterest currently has 40 million monthly active users, with about 70 million users in total. Okay. About 23% of users on Pinterest are on there at least once a day. So they go on there once a day to look at pins, pictures, and add things, like and share things, stuff like that. 42.1% of Pinterest users are from the United States. Now this is very important. especially if you have a business opportunity that requires a substantial startup cost. Since people from the United States tend to have usually have more disposable income than a lot of other countries around the world. Pinterest has 4 million unique visitors a day. Yeah, that's huge. Obviously not as much as Facebook, but it is very important. Okay, here's something that's pretty interesting. Oops. Pinterest refers more traffic to external websites than Google+, YouTube, and LinkedIn combined. Now, obviously, Google+, YouTube, and LinkedIn get more traffic to their own sites, but the thing is that there's more referral traffic going from Pinterest to external websites. So this is a huge opportunity for you to get massive amounts of traffic to your offers. And something that's pretty cool here that I found out the other day is that visitors to your site via Pinterest are 10% more likely to buy or take an action than visitors from any other site. And this is because of one simple fact, and that is because Pinterest is full of buyers. Okay, so makes a huge difference in the quality of your traffic. All right, now some of the things we're going to cover. First of all, what you're going to learn is you're going to learn how to set up your Pinterest profile. If you haven't done it already, it's really simple. You're going to learn who to target on Pinterest. Who's your target prospect? Who's the person you're looking for to actually promote your products and your services? You're going to learn how to capture leads so you can message them in the future and remind them about what you have to offer. You learn how to set up your pin boards. You're going to learn what to pin on your account. You're going to learn about pin titles and descriptions. We're going to talk about syndicating your pins for traffic and backlinks, and at the end we're going to talk about automating your Pinterest marketing. Now, one question I want to ask is that a lot of you have probably been on webinars like this, and you've probably been on something where people want to teach you something, and at the end they want to pitch you on some kind of a product or an offer. Now, by a show, if anyone has a chat window open up still, by a show of yeses, how many of you have been on webinars like this where people have talked about something, taught you something, and then at the end they want to sell you some product or service? Okay, I want to make sure everyone still hear me? Can you all still hear? Okay, so yeah, there's obviously a lot of webinars out there where they try to sell you something at the end. Now, based upon that, I'm going to ask you this kind of a funny question: is that based upon that, how many of you think that based upon that sometime during this webinar I may make you some kind of an offer based upon the content of this webinar? Who here thinks that during the course of this webinar that I may actually try to sell you something? Now, there's obviously a delay between the webinar and YouTube, so what I'm going to do is, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to go through all these steps in marketing on Pinterest like we're talking about, and then I'm actually going to show you a way to automate this, which I know 100% is going to help you take your Pinterest marketing to a whole new level. In fact, if you want to get to this 150 to 200 leads per day, you're going to want to use these automation methods. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the meat of the webinar. Let me go ahead and switch my screen share. All right, so basically, getting an account on Pinterest is just like anything else. You just go on, put your name and create an email and a password, or you click the sign up button. You enter your email and a password. You click sign up, and that's it. And then you verify your email, and that's simple like that. All right, so if you guys are listening on YouTube, you can, if you still want to comment, you can go ahead and open up the webinar page in another tab, and you can still use the chat feature. It's still working. You just won't be able to watch the webinar on that page. So if you want to make comments, you'll have to kind of go back and forth between the video page and the actual webinar page. Other than that, just sit back and listen. Just sit back and watch. And if you have questions, I'm going to keep the webinar page open for a few minutes after the video is over with, so I can answer some of your questions. Anyway, getting back to Pinterest, again, all you do is just put your name and email in there, or your email and password in there. You sign up, you verify your email, and that's it. Very simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into my Pinterest account, and I'm going to use my email so guys, please don't spam me. Now, the thing with Pinterest is, what we want to do is we want to brand ourselves. We don't want to brand our company or our product. Now, if you have your own brand, I have mentors and friends who brand themselves by specific names, specific titles, and things like that. They branded themselves that way, and they would use that. Otherwise, you want to just use your name. Okay. So I'm going to go to my profile and kind of give you an idea of the best way to get your Pinterest, the best way to set your Pinterest profile. All right. Now, first of all, this here is basically your about me. I'm just going to click on the edit portion here. Okay. Your name. Put your real name. Okay. Don't put your company name in here. Don't put anything else. Don't put if you're an Amway, don't put like John Amway or Herbalife Nancy or something like that. Put your name. Put your real name. Your picture. Have a picture. If you got a face picture with you smiling, that's fine. Or a picture of you having fun, like here I am, being goofy at the Hoover Dam. Something that's going to get people to want to actually look at your profile and kind of get to know you. If you have a grumpy face, no one's going to want to look at your pins, much less work with you or join anything that you're doing. Okay. Your username. Username is really not as important. However, with me, I prefer to use just my name, my full name, with one word. This way, when people are looking for you, doing searches for you, they say they want to learn how to work with you. They'll say that they're they know, oh, Vicky DeVore, I know her. I want to see what she's doing. Well, they search for Vicky DeVore, they'll be able to find her stuff a lot easier if her name is in her profile username and her links and things like that. So that's why I put my full name in all of my profiles. in your About You section, you want to have a way for people to contact you. Now, Pinterest doesn't really have a way for you to contact other users. So what you want to do is send them to your Facebook profile. You know, since Facebook is it's like a notification machine. It's, you know, anything you want to know about anybody, or as far as anything that you want people to know about you, rather, you can put on Facebook. And Facebook is a nice, comfortable place to sit there and talk and chat with people and tell them about what you're doing. So, like what I put here is I put, thanks for visiting my profile. I teach people how to tell them what you're about. So I teach people how to market their businesses online. Click the link below to connect with me on Facebook. And when you say this, your link will show up underneath this description. And here I put my Facebook profile in there. Okay, I got my location there. Location isn't as important, but I do because, you know, maybe you have someone who's local who wants to work with you. You know, then they'll message you and you guys can maybe meet, you know, together, whatever. Especially if you're doing a network marketing opportunity, like say Amway, for example, you want to meet people face to face. Well, they find you on Pinterest, they'll say, "Oh, you're in the same city as me. Well, I'll get with you and you know, talk and maybe join you." And then, of course, when you're done, just click on Save Profile. Okay. Now, who are we going to target on Pinterest? That's the question. Now, before we get into that, I also want to say that you'll see that on my profile I have a lot of things that have nothing to do with any type of business, you know, things that I'm interested in. And the reason I do this is because I want people to get to know who I am. Now, you can have multiple accounts if you want to. That's absolutely fine. For your main profile that you want to use to build relationships with people, put everything on that you're interested in. I don't care if you're into knitting, if you're into cars, if you're into video games, you know, you're into baseball, whatever. Put stuff on your account that talks about you. You know, because think about this. Say you can sit there and try to if you're saying you're an advocate, for example, and you want to you're looking to recruit people. Well, you can sit there and look for people that are already into network marketing stuff, or you can look for people who are into other things you're interested in, and then kind of share with them what you're doing as you get to know them. Okay. So again, just one profile, your real name, a real picture. Use your actual name as your username if you can. Put a way for them to contact you, to connect with you in your profile, in your About Me section, and then a link to your Facebook. You know, again, sending them to a squeeze page from your profile, I don't think is that helpful. I think this is the best way to do it right here, is just sending them to your profile and then talking to them that way. Now, as far as setting up, or sorry, who to target, excuse me. What we're looking for is, since Pinterest is full of buyers, okay, and you'll have a lot of pictures of products and stuff in Pinterest on boards. Since it's full of buyers, it stands to reason that you want to use a different approach when building your opportunity. So what we do is, instead of looking for other network marketers necessarily, which we can, depending on what your company offers. The company that I work with, we offer services to network marketers, so that's what I would do. But let's say that you're in a company that offers nutritional supplements. You know, let's say you're an Advocare, that, you know, a company that does a lot of sports performance products, a lot of sports nutrition. Instead of looking for other network marketers, what you want to look for is you want to look for people who can use your products. Okay, so, you know, what I mean by that is that you would look for people who are using, people who are into like weight training and sports and things like that. So what you're looking for is customers that you can turn into distributors once they've gotten in, they've tried the products and they see what you have to offer. So it's a different approach than just recruiting into a business, recruiting distributors directly. What you're doing is you're finding customers based on what you have to offer, and then letting them try the products and use them, and then from there you're going to say, oh, hey, you know, you like these products, would you like to learn how you can, you know, make an income with these products? And chances are, if they've used them, they've liked them, they're going to say, well, yeah, sure, show me how. So that's how you do it that way. Now, what we want to do is we want to first, in order to pin something on Pinterest. Okay, we're going to talk about what to pin here in a second, but before we pin anything on Pinterest, we need to first create boards. And as you can see, I've created 85 boards so far. And so all you do is go over here on your profile and click on Create a Board. And you're just going to name, what you're going to do is you're going to name your board. So for this one, I'm going to call this board about weight training and sports nutrition. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a description for my board. Now, what I do is I like to put something that's going to lead them back to my profile. So what I'm going to do is in my pins I'm actually going to link them to a squeeze page. In the board I'm going to put a small description and lead them to my profile. So I'm going to say go to my squeeze page here and try and look at this. And the link in my profile to connect with me and find out more. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put something in here that's about that our board's about. In this case, you know, this would be, for example, if you were in a company that sells this nutritional products. Now, if you were in a company like Mary Kay, you would put something like, you know, you talk about the, you know, the beauty products and the cosmetics. You know, if you were in Power Network, you talk about, you know, about the blogging system that they have. You know, whatever your company has, you want to fit the board title should match your product line, your main product line. And your description should kind of should give them a desire to check you out on your profile. So here I just put find the right self. This is, for example, if I'm promoting something like Advocare, for example. I'm not an Advocare distributor, but we're just going to use that as an example. We say find the right supplements to enhance your weight training and get ripped faster than ever before. Click the link in my profile to connect with me and find out more. Okay, what kind of board is it? Just pick a category. You may find that there's no category that fits. If it doesn't, just hit other. But for this one, I'm just going to pick sports. Add a map, you can if you want to. That'll put a little map thing here with your location on it. Secret board means that only certain people can see it that you choose. You want to keep all your boards public. So click this as no. Who can add pins? Personally, I don't allow people to pin on my boards unless they're a part of my personal team, as far as, you know, working at my company, and I want to give them some help in getting traffic to their business pages, to their squeeze pages, and to their sign-up pages. So otherwise, I just leave this blank, and then you just hit create board. Okay, and you can edit the board here if you want to. What we're going to do now is we're going to go over what to pin. Since we got a board ready that's dealing with sports nutrition and weight training, so what are we going to pin? Now, most people will tell you to go out there and, you know, load up or find pins for yourself, find pins of your own, and put them up on Pinterest, and that's fine. You can still do that, but what I find is even better is repinning other people's stuff. Now, you may be thinking, well, why do I want to repin? Well, let me show you. Let's go up here, and we're going to search for something that has to do with our board that we just created, with our product or company, but not necessarily that direct topic. So in other words, we're not going to search for other weight training and sports nutrition products. We're going to search for weight training and things that relate to that, or sports. So if I just type in weight training, it's going to give me all the pins that have to do with weight training. Now, the best optimized pins and the most popular pins are going to show up first. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to repin things. And what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you everything that we do manually, and then again, like I said, at the end of this presentation, I'll show you how it's automated, where it's going to make a huge difference in how much you can get done. So you just go through here and check out what see what you've got, and let's just pick a random pin. Typically, I would go through the first one and start here, but I've already pinned this one on a different board, so I'm not going to do that. So let's start over here. Let's click to enlarge that pin. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to look and read the pins, see what they've got. Look in the description. What we're looking for links to anything that they have, maybe to a blog post or whatever. And if we did, we would go there and just read their post or whatever and comment on it, just to kind of get some extra contact with that person. So what we're going to do is first we're going to like the pin, okay, and then we're going to add a comment, okay. Now in our comment we're going to put something similar to what we put in our, maybe not necessarily the same exact wording, but something similar to what we put in the board description. Or let's put something like let's see, I offer great, awesome weight training supplements and products if you are interested. Check them out here. Okay, so what you can do is you can do a couple of things, and you want to be random with each of your pins. So for this one, I basically put great pin. I have some really awesome weight training supplements and sports nutrition products. If you're interested, check them out here. Or you can see with these being word repetitive, you can also say my company offers some really awesome weight training supplements and sports nutrition products. If you're interested, check them out here. Okay. In this example, we're putting a link to our squeeze page. Okay. Now, you can also just tell them to go to your profile and just change the wording up each time you do it and click comment. Okay. Then what we're going to do, we're going to pin it. And we're going to choose the board we just created. And I'm not going to do this now, but you can always, whenever you get any type of syndication, do it. Okay, so we would click the post to Facebook. I'm not going to do that myself. And let's click pin it. Now, since you've just pinned it, the link and description are there as far as the original link, the original pinner goes. Okay, so let's go back to. I waited too long to click that button, so let's go back to the boards. Let's find that new pin. Okay, and we're going to click Edit Pin. Now this time we're going to put we're going to take this. We're going to copy the And you can do any description you want. I prefer this. The easiest way to do it is just to copy the headline from your squeeze page. Put that in there. The source link, you're going to change to your squeeze page link. And we're going to change this to click the image to find out. Okay. So we're just changing up a little bit. We're going to put click the image to find the right supplements to enhance your weight training and get ripped faster than ever before. And we put our squeeze page link in the source. We click Save Changes. Now, what's going to happen, and we can like our own pin, what's going to happen is when we repin something, okay, you'll get the person who did the pin will get a notification in Pinterest, and sometimes they have it set up where they get alerts on their phone or their email. So not only will you get people visiting your board and checking these out and looking at your pins and going to your squeeze page and opting in, you're also going to get the people who originally pinned that pin, and they're going to go and check out what you've got, where you put the pin. They're going to like your pin and repin it maybe, and also go to your squeeze page and possibly opt in. So that's a very easy way to get a lot of people to come to look at your squeeze page and opt in. Now, a few things that you want to keep in mind that you can also do to enhance the SEO of your boards and of your pins. You can also use hashtags, and what I mean by that is you can do I put hashtag weight training. The thing is, with Pinterest, if someone searches for a hashtag in the search box, it'll come up with all the description with pins that have either the hashtag or the keyword in the description. And getting to the top of Pinterest and in the popular pins, the higher up is the more likes and repins you have on a pin, and the better optimized it is, the more visitors you're going to have to that pin. So if we just put that, that's going to give us a little bit of extra weight in ranking for that keyword. And we can also use different terms like weight training supplements, weight training products, weight training equipment, and things like that. Now, what you need to do also after this, you want to make sure you're syndicating all of your pins. You want to make sure you're sharing them on Facebook, Twitter, Blogger, Tumblr, wherever you have accounts that you can share, all your social media accounts. Now, you can do that manually if you want to, which will take a long time. But the way I like to do it manually. I mean, actually, I like to do it automatically. So let me first go back to my boards here. Let me go find that new board that I created. Let's do it like this. I love the search feature in Chrome. Okay, so I go to the board. Okay. Here's my board URL right here. Okay. Now, again, I can sit there and I could do it manually, or I can syndicate it. Now it looks like the pin wasn't added correctly, so let me go back. I know what it is. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, like I said, you can do it manually. Where I love automation. I don't like to do things, manually. And now this isn't what I was talking about earlier about automating your Pinterest marketing. What this is gonna automate your syndication. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go over to a site called ifttt.com. And that stands for if this then that. And you're just gonna click join IFTTT and just fill in the stuff and confirm your email, and that's what I gotta do. So I'm gonna go and log in. I gotta love RoboForm here. I love this. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're going to set this up so every time we pin something on this board, that it's going to go through the IFTTT system and it's going to syndicate to all of our social networks. Okay. So what we do first is we need to first create a recipe. So we're going to click over on create a recipe. Now, the site is called if this then that. So basically, if this happens, then that's going to happen. That's basically the setup for it, basically the gist of it. So if this, and we can choose any trigger channel. These are all, you have to set up these channels manually at first when you open up your account. And these be all the things that if something happens on these sites, it's going to cause something else to happen somewhere else. Now, if you notice, there's no Pinterest on here. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go down to where it says feed. I'm going to create. Now you can wait till it has a certain keyword in the phrase in the feed item, or you can click new feed item. I'm just going to click this new feed item. For our purposes, we would click new feed item every time. We're going to enter in the URL of our pin board. And at the end, we're going to take off the trailing slash, and we're going to add .rss. Create trigger. Okay. So now, whenever a new feed item, it says new feed item from this RSS feed, then that. From here, we're going to choose basically what site is going to receive the content. So for here, let's go to Facebook. And we can choose create status message, create a link post, upload a photo from the URL. Since we're dealing with photos on Pinterest, we're going to choose the upload a photo option. All right, so now from here, this here we're going to leave alone because this is going to be the actual picture. Under message, we're going to take these out. We're going to put in entry content. We're going to add that. And then we're going to put our squeeze page link. Or you can put in your Pinterest profile link or your Facebook profile link. Whatever works for that particular pin. Album name, you can create your own album name. So we're going to say retraining and sports nutrition. And from there, we'll click on Create Action. And we're just going to review everything here. It'll, it's going to tell us what the recipe title is, and we're going to click on Create Recipe. And it says recipe created. Now what's going to happen is that anytime something is pinned to that board, it's going to go through the system. It's going to pin onto our Facebook album that we just created. And every Facebook album has a limit of 1,000 photos, so there's plenty of room on those albums to fill them up. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and do another pin as an example, real quick. Now, again, what you're going to do is when you're doing these pins, by the way, we're doing them manually. What you're going to do is you're going to go through and do everything that I showed you with a pin. You're gonna click on it. You're gonna like it. You're gonna comment on it. You're gonna repin it. You're gonna edit it with your information. Then you're gonna go back to the same search results and go through and find the next pin. And you gotta click on that pin, and you gotta like it. You gotta comment on it. And put your link in it, your squeeze page link, or let them contact you by your profile. You're gonna click the comment button. Then you're gonna go and you're gonna pin it on your board. You're gonna edit the description. Again, you can change your description up. I'm just doing this for time purposes. And pin it. Okay. Now you gotta go to see it now. You gotta edit. You gotta change source link. You're going to click Save Changes. Actually, first, let's do a hashtag. All right, let's put the hashtag at the beginning this time. Change it up a little bit. You guys remember, if you haven't worked with hashtags before, it's always one word with no spaces. Okay, I'm sure you've all done hashtag before, but just in case, it's always one word with no spaces with a little pound symbol in the front. Okay, so we've done that. We've edited the description. We've changed our link. And we click Save Changes. Now what's going to happen is that IFTTT is going to have a delay of about 5 to 10 minutes before it adds anything to our Facebook, to our photo album. The reason they put this delay in there is because if things get pinned too quickly, it looks really spammy. So they've done that to kind of set a delay so it looks more natural. All right. So now, since we've done all that, now I want to talk about what you can do to actually automate this process. Now, if you're going through this manually, it stands to reason it's going to take you a long time to get through things. Now, obviously, if I wasn't explaining these things as I'm going, it would probably be real faster. But if you look at it, you're probably going to be able to do, maybe work a couple hours a day, you're probably going to be able to do, if you're lucky, 50 to 100 pins maybe in a couple hours, if you're pretty fast at it. But like I said before, I like automation. I don't like having to do things manually all the time. to me, it's just I've got more things that I need to do with my business than sit there and just keep manually pinning stuff over and over and over again. So personally, like I said, I like to automate it. So I'm going to show you guys a software that I use to automate my Pinterest marketing. And then I'm going to give you an opportunity to get that software for yourself, get yourself a free trial of that software, check it out. So let's go here and let me get that software opened up. The software is called Ninja Pinner. You give it a second to open up. Now, does anybody have any questions right now as far as if I'm going too fast or if there's anything that they don't understand? Okay, so because I'm gonna put my before we start going over Ninja Pinner, let me put my Facebook information in the chat area. Again, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and reopen that chat window instead of having to go live, and you'll be able to type chat in. So here's my profile link. So I just put my Facebook link in the chat area. So if you guys have questions, you know, most of you are already friends with me on Facebook, so you'll be able to find me easy. But if you're not, just go and click that and friend me, and then if you have questions. Anyway, we're going to talk about Ninja Pinner, and this guys, this stuff is awesome. This software is awesome. Okay. Okay, hold on, GPT. So anyway, like I said, you guys, this Ninja Pinner is awesome, you guys. You know, when I used to do Pinterest manually, it would take me like I said, it would take me a few hours to do 50 to 100 pins, and I would have to do that instead of doing any of my other work, and it was taking a long time. Well, this, gives me about a minute or two to set things up, and then it goes off by itself. Now, depending on what version you get, you can put multiple Pinterest accounts in if you want. Like I said, if you're promoting, trying to brand yourself and promote your business and promote you as an expert, use your main account. Okay, if you have other things you should do, like maybe you have a website that has to do with baseball, for example, and you want to have specific pins and boards for that, then go ahead and create a separate account for that. But also add stuff like that you're interested in to your regular account, like I said before, so people can get to know you and like and trust you. So anyway, I'm just going to log into the software. Now be mindful that when you log into the software for Pinterest, it will log you out of your browser. So let me, actually I need to make sure I can share this with you guys. Hold on. All right, here we go. Okay, so now you should be able to see the software now. Now, this is, like I said, this is just incredible. I can do a few minutes, if that, and I'm done, and it's perfect. So I'm going to go into the top and search for weight training. And sometimes you get a little script error there, but no big deal. Okay. And it's going to bring up all the pins that have to do with weight training. Now, what we're going to do is first we're going to go over our options, and you can set a time delay. This way, you're not pinning every single second. You can set up a random delay. I use like between 15 and 45 seconds for a delay, which usually works. I haven't had any problems with my account. But in general, now, here's a few things you can check off. You can skip people you followed before. You can skip pins you repin before. You can skip your own pins, which I always do. You can skip videos. I skip videos a lot of times because sometimes it just takes a lot of time to go through them. But you can keep them on if you want. Doesn't matter. This is my preference. Skip pins I've liked before. If you want to skip the pins you've already liked, you can do that. And then there's all these features. You can disable the images, which will make things faster. I like to see what's being pinned, so I just leave that unchecked. And you can use a proxy if you want, but I don't see a need for proxies. So I'm going to click on OK. Now, from here, it's loaded up all the weight training pins. And we're just going to go over here to Gather Pin Usernames. And we're going to click Gather Pins. We're going to click Start Gathering IDs. And that's going to go in and grab, usually it'll grab like, up to 1,000, depending on what's available and what your settings are set at. Sometimes it'll grab less. And typically this will change from stop to start gathering. Okay, so it's got this 98 pins. So we want to repin these pins. So we're going to go to Auto Repin. We're going to choose the board that we just created. I have a lot of boards on here, so it's going to take me a second to go through them all. Okay, so actually what it does is the software adds your newest board to the very bottom of the list. Where in Pinterest it's automatically alphabetized, or sometimes it's alphabetized. Here it goes to the very bottom of the list. So here we need to change our description. And we put a little hashtag here. Choose the number of pins, 98. Change the URL of each pin. Now this is nice because you don't have to sit there and pin it and then go back and edit it. It'll change the source URL for you automatically before it even repins it for you. So this is great. Here I always check follow the owner after repinning, because on Pinterest most of the time when you follow someone, they're going to refollow you. Okay, so always keep that checked. And next, all we got to do is click on. We've gotten this. Now, something to keep in mind on this. I'm not going to do it right now, but you can actually use what's called spin syntax to make things more unique. And basically, what you do is you put. Most of you probably know what that means, what that is, but what you do is you put a bracket and then put different words divided by a pipeline, and then what's going to happen is it's going to choose from those options and make things random. So, for example, you could put free video and then put the bracket reveals, pipeline shows, pipeline tells about, and then another bracket, and it'll choose between those three options in the bracket every time it pins, so everything looks unique. Okay, but we're going to leave that as it is for now, for time purposes. I'm probably going to need to go do a whole new a whole webinar again once the system is fixed to where I can get to work right. I'm going to do a whole webinar on using spin syntax because I think it's a great concept. Anyway, we got a description in here. We got the link changed. We're going to pin all 98 pins. We just click on Start Pinning. And it's just going to go through. It's going to find the pins. It's going to change the description for us and the source link. It's going to go and it's going to follow the person, and it's going to go with a delay. After it's done, it's going to go to the delay and go to the next pin. Yeah. And it's going to go. It's going to follow. It's going to follow all of their boards. As you see down at the bottom, there's a. It's doing a delay. It's a random delay. Right now, it's at 20 seconds left, and it's going to wait till that's done and go to the next pin. Oh, and guys, something you want to keep in mind when you're signing up for Pinterest, opening a Pinterest account. Sign up with your email. Don't sign up. Don't click sign up with Facebook. And if you have done that, going through your settings, there should be a way to change it to where you log in via your email. Because if you, when you get Ninja Pinner and you want to use that, you have to use your email to log in. It won't let you log in through Facebook. So it basically, like it says here, like you've seen, it's going to gather the pins, it's going to go through, it's going to repin everything for you. Now, what you can also do is you can also do auto liking, because right now it's not liking the pins that it's repinning. It's just repinning them. You can also go. Once you're done with all that. Once you've gone through this process, you go to auto like, and then of course you choose the number of pins you want. You click start liking to like all the pins. Then you go through and go to auto comment, and it's going to skip pins that you've already commented on, so you don't look like you're spamming. So this is a good thing to keep set. When you click Start Commenting, it's going to give you the option to add different comments or add them in spin syntax, so you can automatically comment on these pins. An auto invite is to invite people to pin on your boards. Now, if I've already pinned it, it's going to give me a thing that says you already pinned it, and it would most likely skip it. So really, this is a really great way to take your Pinterest marketing to a whole new level, where it's not going to be you're not going to sit there and have to go through things manually all day long. I use this software every single day. This software is probably one of the main reasons why I was able to get up to 200 leads a day on Pinterest. Because think about it, if you're going to sit there and pin manually, you're going to take all day long just to do the pinning, and then all the other aspects of your business that you're trying to do, like connecting with people, you're not going to be able to do that. So now with Ninja Pinner, they gave you a free trial to try it out for 2 hours. As soon as you install it and you log into it, you get 2 hours to try it out. So again, you're going to make sure that you let me go ahead and stop this. Stop the pinning on this. Okay. This is basically for demonstration anyway. When you get Ninja Pinner, they're going to give you a free 2-hour trial. And give me 1 second here. I'm sorry. Okay. So, you know. So right now, hopefully that this webinar has kind of helped you get an idea of what you can do with Pinterest. I know we had a little bit of a rough start. Hopefully this being with you watching on YouTube, you're getting a delay as far as what you're seeing. So what I'm saying now, you're probably not going to see for at least 5 minutes. So if anybody has any questions, please mention them in comment them in the chat area. Now, as far as Ninja Pinner goes, if you want to get your free trial of Ninja Pinner, I'm going to put the link in the description here of the webinar. Now, what I'm going to do is, for anyone who purchases Ninja Pinner, get the free trial, and if you upgrade to the paid version, there's 2 paid versions. One is $27, which lets you add 1 account to the software. The other is $47, lets you add unlimited accounts. I personally have the unlimited version because I have other accounts that I use for other purposes. But when you get Ninja Pinner and you get it through my link, what I will do is I will do a training on how to use the software, in detail. Because right now the company that makes it doesn't have a full training video available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to go ahead and do a training for you. We'll actually do a hangout to where I get people on the panel, so you can actually ask questions while we're going through it, instead of like it is now, to where we're having this delay on YouTube where you can't really ask questions at the right times. So. Now, anyone there right now have any questions as far as marketing on Pinterest or anything like that? Thanks for the question there, Vicky. That is a one-time payment for the software. Now, I've used other Pinterest softwares before. I will say that there were some that were okay for a while. What Ninja Pinner was good about them is that every time Pinterest makes a change, they update their software. They make changes to catch up. In fact, I think I updated the software like 4 times in the last month. Because of Pinterest changes, so they're really on the ball as far as making sure that it's working for you. So with that, are there any questions as far as Pinterest marketing goes? Does anybody have it? Now, hopefully, everyone can still hear and see and hear. So we still have 3 attendees on, 4 attendees. Actually, I'm logged in as another person. I'm going to go and shut that down. All right. So if anyone has any questions, we're going to go ahead and go ahead and end the webinar. If you guys have any questions after the webinar stopped, go to my Facebook and ask me questions. I will help you. No problem. Again, I apologize for all the delays we had in getting started. Okay, good. I'm glad, Vicky, you're still hearing, seeing me. I'm not sure if anyone else is still seeing or hearing. Okay, Jeffrey and Charlotte, if you can hear me, just to make sure you guys are able to hear all the content, do me a favor and type in the chat, if you have the chat window open still, in the Cybernetical Live page. Because most if you have it closed, don't worry about it. But now, if you guys have any questions, please message me on Facebook. The link is in. I put the link in the chat. You guys are probably friends with me on Facebook already. You can also just, if you can't find my profile, just go to the event link and you'll find my profile that way. But with that, I want to thank you guys for coming on. I'm sorry for all the crazy technical issues we had. Hopefully, okay, thanks, Charlotte. Glad you can still hear. Awesome, awesome. Again, I apologize for all the technical challenges. Hopefully, I'm gonna message a few of our leaders and see if they can tell us, tell me, maybe what I could have been doing wrong that was causing it to not show up on the Cybernetical page. But with that, let's go ahead and end the webinar. You guys, I want to thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your patience, and I hope this is giving you some ideas on how to use Pinterest to get more leads to your business. If you're not already on my team and you're looking to get into something that right now a lot of our members are achieving really nice incomes. In fact, 2 of our leaders are already getting 6-figure incomes with this company. Go ahead and message me if you want to find out what we're doing. And again, thanks for coming on and watching, and I look forward to hopefully talking with you all very soon. Have an awesome day. Bye.